right, thanks everybody for coming out to the open mic live. Give yourselves all a round of applause. This is the Famous ACME Comedy Theater. We've been here for over 20 years, founded by comedian writers who wanted a space to perform themselves live on stage, and now you guys get the exact same chance to do that as well. This is the Open Mic Live. It is broadcasting live right now on HollywoodStandsUp.com, so text, tweet, Facebook your friends, let them know when you're up in the lineup. And this is all going out live and being recorded, so be mindful of how you represent yourself on the stage. We do have classes in stand-up comedy, improv, sketch writing, sitcom acting, and sitcom writing. Check us out at acmecomedy.com. About classes, this week we have Reginald Bell Johnson hosting our sketch show. We do a live sketch show here on the stage that's very much like Saturday Night Live. We have a guest host and a musical guest, and the guest is Reginald Bell Johnson. Some of you know him as Carl Winslow from Family Matters. And the Young Romans is the band. They were the first band we had at the beginning of the year, the bookending the year at the end. Tonight we have 3 shows, the open mic, which you're a part of, and an evening with Brad Stewart, which you are invited to come back and enjoy free of charge. Thank you for coming to the open mic. We give the open mic sign-up sheet right to the box office, and you guys will be given comp tickets. Brad Stewart has been touring with Joan Rivers, and now he's coming here to tape his 30-minute DVD stand-up act. He's being opened by Pat Keane, who's on the Late Late Show many times, and Christina Pazitsky, who has been doing USO tours all this year. The nightcap is Casey Gillickson, Josh Innes, Jake Kroger, Jen Murphy, Ian Tindell, John Vargas, Alicia Wood, and Kirk Zipfel. You'll recognize him from the Man Up Beer commercials. Now you may be asking, how do you get to perform on one of these shows? Well, first of all, you do well right here, and you have good penmanship when you sign up for the open mic, because that's the only way we know how to contact you. Thanks for coming out to the open mic. Please give it up for your host, Ian Tindell.
Thanks, guys. How you doing today? Great. Good? Yeah? Everyone have a good Halloween? Yeah? All right. Some of you had shitty Halloweens, apparently. And anyone else go out to the WeHo carnival thing last night? Yeah, fuck yeah. Do you guys know what this is? Like 500,000 people on Santa Monica Boulevard, all in costumes and everything. I went to it last night for the first time. It was really cool. I dressed up as Quail Man from Doug. Some of you guys know that, which meant I had a belt on my head and underwear over my shorts, which was apparently quite popular. And I had a moment, and actually I recently just got out of a relationship. And this was the first time I was going out where I'm like, yeah, all right, tonight I can fucking flirt. Tonight I can do it. I'm feeling it. This is good. I had the belt on my head and the underwear over my shorts, and I felt very confident. And there was one moment. There was one very particular moment which I could have done something, and I didn't. This really super hot, I don't know, slutty Indian girl. Just slutty blank is what women tend to be at Halloween. Came over and she got her picture with me. And then as she left, she said, "Oh, and by the way, you were super cute." And she and of course I was like, "Oh my God, this is the moment." And all I said was "churl." I said, "Churl" was my response. I don't know what that means. The English language is this beautiful, wonderful, complicated language, and I chose a combination of "sure" and "hurl" to respond to this girl, and so that's step 1 in, I guess, my flirting process. It felt very strange. So, super hot Pocahontas, slutty Pocahontas girl, if you're watching tonight, what I meant to say was you are super cute as well, and if I could get your name and phone number, that would be agreeable for me. But that is not what I said at all. I went with fucking churl. All right, guys. You ready to get this started? We ready to have some fun tonight? Yeah? All right, cool. So first up, we've got Zach, followed by Ricky, and then Luke. So give it up for Zach, guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Give it up for that guy. Yeah. Just me? Cool, yeah, there he is. So how's it going? Good? I'll take that as a good. Awesome. So I'm single. Surprise. Dating is really frustrating. I find women to be a bit confusing a lot of the times. Dating women is a lot like playing a video game where every time you die and start over, the level is totally different. Sometimes it's like you're playing a totally different game, you know? Like all of a sudden the A button jumps, the B button shoots, you gotta find the G button all over again. It's ridiculous. It's an anatomy joke. Girls though, it's not about sex for them. Don't be fooled. They want to make an actual connection with you. Because, as a girl will tell you, if they want to get laid, they just have to go to a bar. Go to a bar. Where is this bar where all the ladies are going to get laid? That's what I'd like to know. There's no bar for me. For me, it's just porn and regret. That's it. Nowhere I can go. The only place I can go is my imagination, and that is no magical orgy bar, let me tell you. What else is going well? Awesome. I feel like I give off the wrong message a lot to the ladies. For example, I was getting my hair cut the other day, and there was a really cute girl getting her hair cut right there, and caught her eye while she was checking herself out in the mirror, and gave her a thumbs up. Of course, I forgot my hand was still under that sheet they put on you, so that was awkward. That guy gets it. Awesome. So now I'm originally from Texas. I live here now, obviously. I live in kind of a rough Jewish neighborhood, which is strange, yeah. Because a lot of the kids try to walk around looking intimidating, you know? Like wearing their yarmulkes backwards, this sort of business. One of them told me they were going to pop a cap in my tuchus. So I told them to beat it or I'd be sleeping with the gefilte fishes. Gotta know how to speak the kids' language. My God, this is awesome. Just like doing it in my apartment. Same reaction. Good. I'm going to leave you with this. I have finally figured out my life philosophy. I want to share it with you. A lot of people have theirs. What would Jesus do? Shit happens, that sort of thing. Mine is this. No matter what you're doing, where you are, just think to yourself, what would Sam Beckett from Quantum Leap think if he leapt into you right now? Thank you very much.
Alright, I was so concerned with my turtle joke, I forgot some of the duties of a host. My lamp of justice is right over there, which will light you guys if you haven't been here before. You're going to have about 3.5 minutes tonight. So just be mindful of that so we can get through everyone, because that is the goal. And we do have a show that we have to get up at 8, so limited amount of time. All right, guys, next up is Ricky, followed by Luke and Pat. Give it up for Ricky.
Thanks, Ian. How's everybody doing? All right. I moved here from Israel 2 years ago. Thanks for nothing. This is what I want to talk about today. What was that again? Oh, yeah. So my friend told me the other day, like America has weird stuff, like random stuff. I still can't get over it. You know what I mean? It's like, she just told me her friend died from taking too much cocaine, from overdosing. And, you know, it came to my mind, you guys are so privileged. You know what I mean? You guys died from overdosing. That's amazing. I don't know anybody who ever died from overdosing. I know somebody who died on a bus. I know someone who died in a mall. I know somebody died. Is that too dark? You know, I know everybody who died in so many different ways. Nobody ever overdosed. I guess it's just good for you. You know, can you imagine, like, all your friends died at the 9/11 attack, and then some French dude came one day to you and be like, oh, my friend just totally took too much cocaine. Who gives a fuck, you know what I mean? And the initial reaction is, like, have sympathy, but honestly, it's just jealousy. I'm just jealous. Do you ever get when you see a person you're not really sure you had sex with? Does it ever happen to you? No? So it happened to me at the restaurant I work. I saw this guy and I'm like, oh my God, did we not? So I was circling, it wasn't my table, I was just circling the restaurant and I was trying to figure out, like, did we? And then so at some point I'm like, oh, whatever, I'm just gonna go there and just talk to him. So I went there and then, like, at some point it hit me, we didn't have sex. We did everything but having sex. Let me tell you why. Shut up, Jamar. Let me tell you why. I was hoping for him to call me back. That's why. He didn't call me back. I emailed, I called, anything. He didn't call me back. What a motherfucker, right? And it just hit me why. I realized why when I was there. He was sitting with this big ass, blonde, skinny girl eating a Greek salad. Exactly right. I don't eat Greek salad. That's why. Which is fine because you know what? I don't even want a Jewish baby. I don't want a baby to just judge what I eat, what I spend. That's why I want a black baby. I want to feel great about what I eat, how I look. No one's gonna judge me. Thank you. Thank you for that. Wow, coming second is kind of rough, huh? What else are there? So I speak Hebrew. My language is the Hebrew. Honestly, it's not. It's when I wake up in the morning, my English and my Hebrew is still very jumbled. It's really bad. Honestly, it's not a pretty sight. I see the mailman, I'm like, oh, good morning. No, it's hard. Like I'm trying to get coffee. I'm like, oh, half and half. It's not a pretty sight. Thank you so much, guys. That was wonderful.
All right, guys, let's keep it going. Next up is Luke, followed by Pat and Anthony. Give it up for Luke.
Oh, thank you, Acme. Appreciate it. I'm Luke Clements. I'm from Santa Cruz, California. It's like 6 hours north of here in a little farming community. And I was really excited to move to LA. You know, I thought I was going to see a lot of celebrities. And I haven't really. But I did see someone very special. I saw Macho Man Randy Savage on a Harley Davidson breastfeeding a baby. And I was heartbroken to realize that it was an obese lady on a motorized walking scooter letting her baby eat chip crumbs off her chest. Heartbroken. I see a lot of like obese ladies with brand new babies nowadays. Have you guys been seeing that? Oh, okay, I'm the only one. It might be an LA thing, it might be just what I see. But I would have never thought in a million years that diet soda would be the new Spanish fly. Because if I would have known that a year ago, I would have been swimming in poontang. I'm what you call a chubby chaser. But you might be a little bit too much overweight for me if you can put your neck fat into a ponytail. I don't want to be looking at no meat button from behind. I don't. But some nerd comics or alternative comics, I don't know, or just some smarty pants came up to me after that joke, and he's all, excuse me, but there's some inaccuracies with your jokes. And I'm all, yeah, what? Macho Man Randy Savage is dead. And I'm all, okay, well, but you're cool with him riding a Harley Davidson and breastfeeding a baby. He's all, well, men have been known to lactate. That's feasible. And I said something pretty witty. I was pretty proud of myself. I said, out of my way, shrimp. Something like that. I think I did. And it's okay. Okay, you're smart. All right, you're smart. You know some stuff. You read a lot of books. But the problem I have with intellectuals and guys that correct you when you say things wrong is they haven't really figured out how to read their way out of a brick to the face. Once they figure that out, maybe I might look into this higher learning thing. You know, I'm no Stephen Hawkins. I'm no Stephen Hawkins, but isn't this nerd television show Portlandia just a Jeff Foxworthy joke with a different punchline? You know, how smart do you have to be to steal a joke from a hillbilly? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got the light. All right, what was I going to go after? The hillbilly. You know, and all that, like, you know, nerd stuff, it's just kind of like a lot of white guilt. And I have white guilt, too. I was on the bus the other day, and this black gentleman farted on me. And he did. And I casually took the blame. 400 years of slavery, that's the least I can do is take a little blame for a little old fart. What are you guys doing? Just here at the open mic? I'm doing something. All right, I'm Luke Clements. Thanks so much. I'm out.
Building bridges by accepting farts. All right, that's nice. All right, guys, next up, give it up for Pat, followed by Anthony and Sean.
Hey, guys. New stuff. Okay. I I played violin when I was younger. Who said that? Who said it? My parents bought me a pretty nice one. It was a Vesuvius, which if you know anything about violins, you probably recognize their slogan. Vesuvius, doing it right every night. I love that violin, man. And I took to it like a monkey to a bucket of pig shit. I had a pretty typical childhood. You know, I'd spend my days at school, hanging with my buds. Evenings and weekends, locked in my room, playing scales until my hands bled. When I was 9, this was my daily schedule. Wake up at 3 a.m., practice scales for 4 hours, bandage hands, go to school, go to 3-hour violin lesson, go home, get locked in my room, practice until 11, eat a cold dinner using bandages as a napkin, get let out of my room for a 10-minute bathroom break, use bandages as toilet paper, go to sleep at midnight on a homemade bed of brown grocery bags. It's like, why didn't I use my grocery bags as toilet paper? Doesn't make sense. But all that practice paid off, guys, and I learned to play hundreds of songs. Songs like Yellow Rose of Texas, Hey There Sugar Tits, Daddy's Little Sunburn, Smelly White Chunk in the Back of My Throat. Food. I got really into it, man. Started a Bach fan club at my middle school in Boyle Heights. That fell apart when the club's co-founder, my brother Kevin, was stabbed during an argument over whether we should celebrate Bach's unfinished works. Nerdy joke, it's fine. Hollywood high school was pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie. I got beat up a lot, but one day I learned a neat trick. I just pretend that the fists hitting me belonged to the arms of my favorite composers. That way, instead of getting the shit beat out of me by Stephen, John, and Taylor, I was getting the shit beat out of me by Schubert, Brahms, and Mahler. You know, one of the great things about getting a young boy a violin is that it comes with a free vagina repellent that lasts all through high school. So I was celibate from age 9 until up until last week, actually. Finally got the old pecker slammed, fellas. Loved it. By the way, top shelf. That one doesn't work very. All right. I don't trust emails, you guys, because it's too hard to tell sarcasm, you know, and tone. You know, it always struck me that there's 2 ways to read an email. And I'll show you what I mean. So this is an email. Here's the first way to interpret this email. Dear Dad, having a great time camping. Tell Mom thanks for the sunscreen. Love, Jason. Don't worry about how I got a hold of it. Just listen to what happens when I read it with a slightly different inflection. Dear Woody Allen, banana ice cream truck, I have genital herpes, thanks but not sunscreen, love, Captain Jack Sparrow. So you guys see what I mean? It's like there's 2 different ways to read an email. Didn't work. All right, quick joke. What did actor Ryan Gosling say to fellow actor Bradley Cooper? I wish I looked as good naked as up-and-coming comedian Pat Reagan. All right, thanks, guys.
You did quit hacking into my email, Pat. All right. Next up, we have Anthony, followed by Sean and Matt. Give it up for Anthony.
How's it going, guys? How you doing? Doing it another day. Yeah. I wanted to touch bases real quick on Halloween. Halloween was awesome. But here's the thing that's great is how come every store that goes out of business becomes a Halloween super fucking store, dude? You know, isn't that awesome? But it's like, are we in that need of like that high of demand for Halloween products? Like, are there people out there that are just like, dude, you know what's going to be awesome this Christmas at my Christmas party? A shitload of fake blood. Like, we're in high demand of Halloween products now. I don't know. Thought it was awesome, but you never know. I'm getting older, and I got to be honest, a lot of people around me are having babies, and it's scary because just growing older. But I'm tired of hearing people say the same thing. You know, they're like, having a baby's magical. You know, it's magic when a baby comes out of a vagina. It's magic. You know, no, it's not. A baby's supposed to come out of a vagina. If a dinosaur came out of a vagina, that would be fucking magic. You know, doctor's like, we got some bad news. It's a T-Rex. Be bad. I have a dog, you guys, just because, hands down, dogs are your best friend, you know? They're your best friend, you know? You're never going to come home to a dog and it's going to be like, why don't you do the dishes? Why don't you take out the trash, you know? Your wife's never going to leave you for your dog, you know? You're never going to get a phone call from a cop going, man, you know what? Excuse me, sorry to bug you, but your dog's down here. He was drunk driving again. Never going to happen, you know? Your best friend. But we take it a little too far with dogs these days. Like, PetSmart has more clothes for dogs than I do in my own closet, and they're all stylish with pockets. Like, you're going to be leaving the house, and the dog's going to be like, shit, we got to go back. Forgot my phone. It's crazy. Take it a little too far. I don't know if you guys know this. In the dictionary, we have a couple new words. Doe, sexting, and woot are now officially in the dictionary. I don't know if you guys know this. It's awesome. I mean, if we're just going to throw any kind of words in there, I've come up with a couple myself that would be pretty awesome to have in a dictionary. My first word is torrible. When something is so terrible and so horrible, it's torrible. Dude, you hear that band? Yeah, that shit was torrible. So terrible. Dick ripping. That's my other word. When something is so awesome, it rips a dick in half. Yes! Did you hear that new band? Dude, the new band rips dicks, dude. Totally rips dicks. So, I mean, throw it in. If we're going to throw anything in there, might as well. And I'll leave you guys with this. What does Jesus need all this money for? Honestly, you know? Wouldn't it be awesome if he made a water park? That'd be great, right? That's what I want. Come on down to Jesus' new Wine to Water Park. Attractions include Moses' walk-on water slide, Adam and Eve's churro stand, and the all-new 98-story, 227-mile-long God Wrath Super Slide. Yeah! Be awesome. All right. My name's Anthony Browning. Check me out at anthonybrowning.com if you're bored. Thank you. Have a good night.
You guys having a dick ripping good time so far? Give it up if you want your dick ripped in half right now. Yeah, let's go. Let's keep a dick ripping time going for Sean, and then followed by Matt and Tammy. Sean? Yeah, here we go.
I'm a buzzsaw about to tear into some dicks. Yes. No, actually, I'm a piece of shit human being. Things are going awful for me, and I'm excluding this, whatever's going on here right now. Right now, I have no job, no license, no car. I like to refer to it as the shithead trifecta. Basically, things aren't going the old Sean Green's way. Although I was able to get laid without having a job, a car, or a license. Yeah, sir. Appreciate the confidence boost there. I don't need it. I'm already getting laid. I don't need you catcalling at me. I know how it's done, all right? And then I thought about it a little bit more, and I was like, oh, wait. All I had to do was lie about my job, my car, and my license. But then I thought about it a little bit more, and I was like, wait, I didn't outright lie. I just kind of fudged the truth. Like, when she asked me what I did for a living, I said I was a comedian, which that's kind of a lie. I got paid $40 for hosting a trivia once. I was pretty witty. She asked me where my car was, said it was in the garage. And that's not a complete lie. It's in a garage. The garage is owned by a guy named Chewy in Van Nuys, who I sold my car to because I couldn't afford payments on it. But it's in a garage. And then she asked me, we went to a bar, and she asked me why I used my passport instead of my license. And I was like, oh, well, because I misplaced my license, which is also another factual statement. I misplaced my license. The last time I saw it, I was handing it over to California Highway Patrol Officer Nil, and I haven't seen it since. I mean, I got an idea where it is. Somewhere in the DMV headquarters, they put all the licenses together. And they get off on the fact that they can tell me I can't drive, and maybe they're right. But I tell them, yeah, fuck you. Nah, I don't tell anyone that, especially DMV employees. They work hard. They deserve your respect, guys. I got a DUI, and it was inevitable. You know, like being Irish Catholic, it's inevitable that you're going to get a DUI. It's a part of the process. Like you have your confirmation, your baptism, and then your first DUI. I think that, like, when I got my DUI, I remember immediately getting pulled over and trying to be tough. Like, I don't know how many beers I had, which is not actually, that's probably not a good line. I should have just said one. But you know, you try to play tough, and then but I got a DUI on my birthday, which just like added to it. And it was funny, like as soon as I got arrested, I went from like stoic guy fighting his DUI to drunk chick on her birthday. Like, you can't do this to me. It's my birthday. Let me go. Other line I was going to use, because I would always go over my head what I'm going to do when I get my DUI. I would go, oh, when he asks me blood, breath, or urine, I'll say no thanks, like in the Mighty Ducks. Then worst case, I coach some ragtag peewee hockey players to victory. Bad times, guys. I think I'm just pretty depressed, you know, taking the Steve Jobs death really hard. A lot of you guys. That hero. The guy made fucking shiny gadgets. I love how people are like, can you imagine a world without Steve Jobs? Yeah, a world with conversation, handshakes, eye contact. Yeah, I can remember those days. Like literally everything bad that's happened to me is because I got this fucking phone on me all the time and I can access any vice I want to at any moment. Oh, hey, I'll just compulsively gamble or access pornography or poke my coke dealer on Facebook just to get a conversation started. Thanks, Steve Jobs. Fucking crazy, out-of-control capitalist. He wasn't killed by cancer, guys. He was killed by John Connor because Steve Jobs is the son of Skynet. All right, take care.
How can you be depressed when we're ripping dicks up here, huh? I don't know. All right, next up, Matt, followed by Tammy, and then Ricky. Give it up for Matt, guys.
Good old fucking broadcasting this bullshit. Why do I have to fucking? I hate that it's being broadcast. Like I don't want to point it out every time I come to this open mic, but like I really hate it. Made up a new drinking game last night, and the way you play is you drink every time you feel feelings, and you do that until you stop feeling feelings. I saw this billboard recently that said buzzed driving is drunk driving, which I think is true because I cannot tell you how many times I have gotten blackout buzzed and crashed my car into a McDonald's parking space. My roommate and I like to get too drunk sometimes and play pranks on each other. And so like a few weeks ago, I got too drunk and passed out, and he drew a dick on my chest with a Sharpie. Then I got revenge, though, a few days ago. He got blackout drunk and passed out, and what I did is I took a cup of warm water and then slept with his girlfriend. You guys know that classic crank? Want to do a quick impression. This is an impression of me at a wine tasting. Do I detect hints of grape juice? That's it. That's all fucking. Let's see. What do we got going? Oh, quick plug. I'm doing a book signing tomorrow at Barnes & Noble, and if you want to come, it starts at 2, and it ends whenever they kick me out for vandalizing copies of Twilight. My little sister loves Twilight, although she says that she loves the books better than the movie adaptations of those books, because with the books you can use your imagination to fantasize about a magical world in which vampires exist. Personally, I prefer the trees over the book adaptations of those trees, because with the trees you can use your imagination to fantasize about a magical world in which Twilight was never written. Fucking perfectly constructed joke. It's fucking nothing. Why am I hating on Acme Comedy? I gotta stop this. I'm being real self-destructive right now. Let's see. Okay, light. I'm writing a book right now about how to write illiterature. It's gonna be called I Write's Good, So You Do How. Writing a follow-up book about how to write literature. It's gonna be called I'm Pretentious, So You Do How. Sometimes whenever I'm faced with a moral quandary, it feels like I have a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other, but in reality, I don't. I mean, in reality, it's just two dead birds I've duct taped to myself. All right, thanks, everybody.
There we go. All right, guys. Next up, we've got Tammy, followed by Ricky, and then Rye. Give it up for Tammy.
Hey, everybody. Let's move this out of the way so you can see me. All right. So, somebody said they're from Texas earlier, as am I. They say everything's bigger in Texas, and it's true. Except I think more appropriate is everybody's fat in Texas. It's because they eat steak and potatoes for every meal. They get drunk and go watch football. And in high school, you have a couple brewskis and, you know, go cow tipping for fun, because that's what Teen Jesus did. I'm pretty sure that's what he did. And except for Austin. Austin's not like that. They say, they have some bumper stickers that say, keep Austin weird. And it is weird. There's like people that smoke weed, and they listen to indie music and watch independent film. It's strange. I'm gonna make a bumper sticker that says, keep Austin just like every other college town. So take that, Austin, Texas. Your independent thought isn't welcome. So, I think everybody says they're a nerd now, and I think saying you're a nerd is like people in ancient Greece saying they're child molesters. It's like, who isn't, right? Yeah. Don't you hate gossip? I sure do, especially when that gossip's about me. One time I woke up in a hospital room, and this doctor and nurse were gossiping about me, about how dilated I was. And I was like, hey, why don't you turn around and say that to my face? And then they did, and they kept telling me to push. And I was like, I will keep pushing until you're both fired. So I showed them a lot that day. My mom always used to tell me, I don't want to hear you complain until you squeeze something the size of a watermelon out of something the size of my pussy. So I got married about 1.5 years ago. Sorry, guys. Sorry, ladies. Sorry, everybody. So I was researching the wedding on the knot, like as in tying the knot. The people that run the knot also run the nest for newlyweds and the bump for pregnant people. And I thought I'd, one-up them and go ahead and start the grave for dead people. And I realized I was going to call it the hole, but I realized that website's already taken by my asshole. And but speaking of assholes, Nick Lachey was on the news, Access Hollywood, and he was talking about how he and his new wife, what's-her-face, are trying really hard to have a baby, which is great because that's just what I want, is more Nick Lachey's in the world, And I really think that there should be a test you have to take before you have babies, and question 1 on the test should be, are you Nick Lachey? If so, go burn your semen or something. Okay, that's it for me and my Nick Lachey jokes, so you guys have a good night.
Points to anyone else who has a Nick Lachey joke tonight. I don't know what the points mean, but I'm giving them out. All right, guys. Next up is Ricky, followed by Ryan, then Jason. Give it up for Ricky.
Thank you. How's it going, everybody? Awesome. Like Tammy was talking about Texas and in Austin. I would say, like, when people talk about Texas, like, they always talk about, like, the whole of Texas, like, it's mortar, but, like, Austin is, like, Hobbiton. We're like, oh, no, but everybody smokes weed here, and everybody's happy, and everything's all good. But every other part of Texas, like, don't go to that part of Texas. Oh, man, I Everybody have a good Halloween? You have a good Halloween, man? Enjoy yourself? Yeah, solid, man. I had a fucking great Halloween. Halloween's fun. I do that nerdy thing where I just, nerdy. I'm a nerd. We're gonna go. I did get sick of people saying they're nerds all the time. I'm a nerd. No, you're not. You fucking played Nintendo when you were a kid. We all did. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, for Halloween last night, I did the real dorky thing where I just fucking stayed home and I watched fucking Halloween, duh. And then I watched Halloween 2 because I'm fucking crazy. But that's like my thing of what I like to do. Like when a holiday comes around, I'll try and watch like a thematic movie to it. Like last year for Halloween, I watched An American Werewolf in London. For Christmas, I'll watch Love Actually. Aww. And then like if an election comes along, I'll watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yeah, man, fucking Halloween, that's like the only time where you can yell like candy corn, like it's Domino, motherfucker. Candy corn's up in this bitch. I love how people tell you that candy corn's like awful. Like, I know, I eat that shit, but I fucking love it. It's like people tell you that, like, they can't believe that you're happy about the McRib being back. I fucking love that the McRib is back. It's like the fucking bat signal being thrown up in the air, and I'm ready to go out and handle that shit. Fucking McRib, it's the fucking best. Yeah, but it's bad for you. Yeah, it's at McDonald's. I got that part. You know it's not real pork meat or whatever they use. Yeah, I know. That's why it tastes so good. I'm broke, which is always fun. Yeah, we got broke people here? Awesome. Awesome. Do we have broke people here? What the fuck? It's like when you're at a comedy show and the comedian's like, hey, who watches TV? We all do, asshole. Get to it. I'm getting like broke angry though. Like I hate going to the fucking ATM now because it's like it's always a conversation like that goes on too long and that just goes wrong. It's always just like, hey, are you done with this transaction? Yes. Would you like a printed receipt? Absolutely not. Did you know that that money that you just used for weed you could have used for electric bill? Blah, 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 blah. What'd you just say? It's always like, you know what? You don't need a printed receipt. Actually, I don't want to tell that joke. All right, I'm Ricky. There's a light. See ya. Bye.
All right, guys. Next up, we've got Rye, followed by Jason, then Nick Greco. Give it up for Rye.
Hello. Sean was talking about Steve Jobs. I used to work for Steve Jobs, like not personally, but I worked for the Apple Store. And I would hang out. I was a specialist, which means salesperson. But I would hang out in the back towards the Genius Bar, and I kind of thought like my role was like, if the Genius Bar was an actual bar, I wanted to be like their bouncer. Like I'd make my job being the guy who would talk to people before they came to the Genius to make sure they're like worthy of talking to the bar guys. Like a woman came in one time, she had her son's iPod. Like, this is all smashed and dented. It's under warranty. You better replace it. And I look at it, and it is all smashed and dented. And I'm like, man, this isn't a warranty issue. Your son broke his iPod. And she goes, oh, come on, let's be honest. It's not like he sodomized it. Which leads me to believe he sodomized it. Because why would you think to say that about a broken iPod? Like, why would you even think that, like, I don't even know if that's on the list of questions I can ask about a broken iPod. Like, hey, did you put it in water, did you step on it, or did you shove it in your bum? I don't know why you would think to do that. Maybe the iPhone, because it might fit and it vibrates, but still, you were going to miss some calls. Stay off that wait list. When I was a teenager, junior high, I was on a school bus, and around this time, Adam Sandler put out his first comedy album. And on the album, Adam Sandler used a joke that used the word jizz in it, and I didn't know what the word jizz meant. I mean, I had done it, but I didn't know what we were calling it. I didn't know we agreed on a title for it. And I thought it meant piss. It made sense to me. Jizz, whiz, piss. They all kind of fit the rhyme scheme. It makes sense. And in the bit, somebody was like, oh, somebody jizzed on the popcorn. And I thought, oh, what a hilarious prank. Somebody peed all over this popcorn. Not realizing it was a much more hilarious prank. Required a lot more setup. So I say to my buddy next to me, oh, man, I hope we get there soon because I have really got to take a jizz. Yeah. And then that happened. A lot of laughter from the back of the bus where I was sitting all the way to the front of the bus and then back to me again before I realized this word does not mean what I think it means. And I'm like, but I've got to own it now. I've got to be on top of this. Otherwise, I'm going to be the jizz kid all through prom and everything. So I'm like, all right, when it comes back, I'm going to take charge. But the problem is, in that time span, I had not figured out what the word jizz meant. So when somebody yelled, "Hey, Silverman, did you jizz yet?" all I could respond with was, "Not yet, but I'm working on it." It's not fun. My name is Rye Silverman. It's actually short. My real name is Ryan Silverman, and I used to go by Ryan Silverman on stage because it used to be that I dominated Google. Like, if you went and search for me, you'd find my name. It'd be awesome. But then about 5 years ago, there's this guy, Ryan Silverman, who is a Broadway star, and he's in, like, Phantom of the Opera, and he's, like, been in, like, Mamma Mia on tour and stuff like that. About 5-6 years ago, this son of a bitch started topping the charts and just knocked me off my pedestal. And I'm like, all right, I got to take charge of this. I got to be, I'm not famous yet. I'm not famous yet. So I better make this change now. So I started going by Ryan Silverman. But I think that was a mistake. Because I should have stuck with Ryan Silverman, because I could have had a really great selling comedy album on iTunes if I had just called myself Ryan Silverman and called the album Songs from the Heart. I would have had a great first selling album run and also a great collection of 1-star disappointed reviews. All right, thank you guys very much. I'm Ryan Silverman. Good night.
One quick note, guys. Just to let you know, this is being recorded for the people that aren't here. Eventually, we will be making the links available, so if you want to study yourself or whatever, you'll have that. So if anyone needs to take a jizz during the middle of the show, please duck with that camera back there. All right. Next up, we've got Jason, followed by Nick, and then Paul. Give it up for Jason.
So what I've done here is I've written all of my jokes on these cards, and I've shuffled them, and we're just going to see what happens. Before losing his job to an illegal immigrant, my father spent 30 years just standing around outside a Home Depot. No? All right, well, don't worry, because I also brought these Joey joke cards from Full House, the board game. Not all of my jokes are going to be winners, and in that case, I'll rely on the patented A material of Dave Coulier's character as interpreted through Full House as then reinterpreted into the board game, Full House, the board game. I've got some advice for bald men. Say no to rugs. What? So you come up with that stuff. It's weird thinking about your parents having sex, but that's what gets me off. It's as good as it gets, guys. You got to get on board right now. It's the tops of my bits. I've got a real dumb uncle, you guys. The power went out of the mall, and he was stuck on it for an hour on the escalator. And that is a dumb uncle. Sometimes when I get drunk, I black out and put $1,200 rims on a $600 car. Yeah, it's cool. I have a lot of black friends. My New Year's resolution was to look good naked, and the people at the library just need to accept that. Joey's joke, man. I love working in television, but they're getting so small, and the wires get in the way. It's literally working inside of a television, you guys. Before hopping on a rickshaw, make sure it isn't just a Chinese guy pushing a baby carriage. No? I think that's pretty good advice. But I'll leave it to Joey. My dumb uncle heard that most accidents happen within 2 miles from home, so he moved. Yeah, that's in there. I'll leave you on this because it requires an act out. I hate Mondays. I hate them. I hate Mondays. But I love lasagna, and then I drop the microphone. It's called Chris Rock Garfield. I wrote that while I was high at Burning Man. Made sense at the time. That's all. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Next up, we've got Nick, followed by Paul, and then Prashanth. I got your name last. I can't fucking talk. Give it up for Nick.
Hey, guys. So, I was in Argentina recently. That's right, I have a valid passport, ladies. And I was walking through this poor neighborhood, and I see two girls in this abandoned parking lot, and one of the girls is piercing the other girl's ear with what I'm pretty sure was an unsanitary needle. And I couldn't help but think, as this girl is just screaming in Spanish, that I fucking hate when kids speak better Spanish than I do. Fucking kids. I don't have any kids, but I am an uncle. And when my nephew was born, my brother called me from the hospital to tell me that his wife was induced. I was like, she can't be induced. She can't be pregnant. She's drunk. So I realized that I was the one that was drunk. And I didn't know what induced meant. I hate the phrase "just saying." I hate when people use it. It's like the new "no offense" kind of thing. Like it takes back any validity you had in your comment. And I was thinking of famous quotes that people would say and how it would work with just saying at the end of it. Like, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. Just saying. I have a dream. I'm just saying. Take this wine and drink it. It is my blood. Just saying. I hate when guys are misogynists. Totally against it. Because I feel like it's a woman's job to rub me down and give me a happy ending. It's a play on words, misogynist. Okay, all right. Well, am I the only one that thinks that Macaulay Culkin's still the one singing the rap part in black and white? I want to get a tattoo, but I don't feel strongly about anything except pizza. Really like pizza. So I want to get a tattoo where you could see the inside of my stomach, and it just has a slice of pizza in it. So when people say, "Hey, Nick, you hungry?" I go, "No, I just had this pizza." There's a photo of it. There's a pizza in my stomach. And I go, "No, I just had this pizza." I'll hold off on that tattoo. Okay, what else do I got here? I miss G.E. Smith. Okay. So I was asking this girl out the other day, and she was giving me nothing to work with. You know, I don't normally do this with strangers, but I was like, "I love you. I think you're beautiful. I think that we really have something together." And she kept going, "No, I'm not gonna have sex with you." And I'm like, just finally, I was like, "Fine. Just finish testing me for STDs, and then I'm out of here, nurse." Just saying. And I will end on that one because that one killed. All right.
I miss G.E. Smith too. All right, guys. Next up is Paul, followed by Prashanth, and then Scott. Give it up for Paul.
Give it up, guys. Woo! All right, give it up for how Nick, was it? Last guy? Yeah, let's give it up for how shiny his hair is. That was beautiful. That's a beautiful head of hair. This is for the folks at home. If you're watching this on a Mac, then a cool thing you can do is if you hold down Shift and you minimize the window, it does this cool animation and it's really slow and stuff. So that's for you guys at home. And if you're watching it on a Windows computer, cool thing you could do. Install Linux. That's cool. That kills with the folks at home. I only do open mics that have live streaming, so. Thanks for showing up, by the way. Yeah. I drank a lot of coffee today, and I almost didn't show up for this. I'm shaking right now. Not because I'm nervous. I drank a lot of coffee. You ever drink so much coffee you give up on your dream? I did that today. Good night. No. Sean, who was here earlier, he's Irish American, and that's part of his identity. And my family's from Sweden, and there's not really a lot to work with in like identifying yourself as a Swedish American. Like I can't walk around with candles on my head and, you know, like Lingonberry t-shirts and stuff and watch sad movies all day. So I guess I'll just have to settle for my Viking good looks. Yes. Okay, good. Good. You guys have a good Halloween? Yeah? Cool. You guys dress up? I dressed up as an adult for Halloween. You ever do that? Cool. I went to a Misfits show last night to see the Misfits. And it was this punk rock band that was big in the early 80s. And a lot of people decided to dress up as me in high school. That was cool. Yeah, I'm trying to grow out a coke nail. I don't do coke, but I just want people to know that I'm doing well. Just to address it. You gotta address it. Cool. That's my catchphrase. Cool. Write that one down. See somebody with a shirt that says cool on it. You go, oh, you're a big Paul Isaacson fan, huh? I am too. Cool. I realize there's a lot of debate over religion and stuff, and like, is God real? What does it all mean, man? I decided I'm religious, but I'm not spiritual. You know? Means I go to church, but I don't like it. I think that's what that means. I'm not sure. I said I don't believe in God. I don't believe in Jesus, but I do believe in the Holy Ghost. So, Holy Ghost, guys. Holy Ghost. I used to give my friends a lot of guff back in college because they were all liberal arts majors. They'd all, you know, study English and film studies, and it's like, what are you guys gonna do with those degrees? But I kind of ate my own words because like I majored in alchemy. Yeah. How'd that joke do? No, I can't turn stuff into gold, but I can make comedy gold. Thank you. Beautiful. Okay. A lot of my relationships are a lot like communism, because you know they work in theory, and they usually end in financial ruin and genocide. Genocide. She'd like that one, guys. I am Paul Isaacson. Thank you very much.
I don't think I've ever heard a genocide shout out before. All right, that's new. Next up is Prashant, followed by Scott, and then Amy. Give it up for Prashant.
What is up, guys? Thank you. I just want to really quickly ask, but round of applause, how many of you guys are like Catholic in the audience? Round of applause, Catholics. Cool. Catholics, I want to say, like, I honestly think you guys need to stop bitching about Catholicism, because you guys have like an amazing fake justice system. Like, you guys built the best one, because you guys built into your religion this idea of confession, and confession is essentially like an infinite amount of get out of jail free cards. And that is awesome. Like, I don't quite know how it works. It's like you commit some sort of sin, yes, and then you go talk to some guy in a phone booth or something, and it just works itself out. Like, Hinduism, we don't have that. That's what I was raised. We were Hindus, you guys. And Hinduism sucks because, like, they have the idea of karma, which is basically, like, if I had to explain, like, different branches of government as different religions, I would say, like, Christianity, Catholicism and Islam are like the executive and the judicial branch. Hinduism's kind of more like the IRS, in that everything you ever do is always counted against you, and you get audited every fucking year. Like, it's a horrible fucking system, because they have that idea of karma, which is the idea that, like, if you do good in this life, it'll be repaid back to you in future lives. Like, that sucks, you guys. That is not fair. Like, I feel like that means you could, like, that... It sucks primarily because it feels like I'm a black guy trapped in the justice system. Like, I don't know what I did to be counted for this crime. Like, I got arrested on possession, but I'm being tried for a double murder I knew nothing about. Like, how is that fucking fair? Like, that means, like, it fucking sucks, you guys. Like, that means you can live, like, the most compassionate, generous human life and then just get by a fucking car at 45 for no reason And you go up to God and you're talking to God and you're like, I was such a good person. Why me? And he's like, I know you were a really good person, but you used to be a pedophile. So sorry, we can't help you out. Especially everything going on with the economy, you guys. Like, I don't understand why there's all these articles that always show up in like USA Today and all that dumb shit about like penny pinching and like how to save money and cut corners like that. But for some reason, they never talk about the biggest area to save money, which is kids. I don't know why people are still having fucking kids. They're so expensive. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. Like, kids are like the Medicare spending slice of the home income pie chart. Like, they're just a waste of fucking money. They're a sinkhole of money. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I can understand if you have like one kid, because everybody at some point or another has said fuck it and they're not pulling out. But if you have like 2 kids, I just talk to you like you have a gambling addiction. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Because at least with gambling, your odds of hitting it big are way better. Like, no one in this room is going to give birth to a millionaire. No one. Not one of you. Like, I know my Seaman's got community college written all over it. Like, even if I did have a Harvard, I shot him off long ago. Like, it's not happening. Like, here's the other thing. Like, people always say, like, I'm so jaded by kids. Like, I don't even see, like, vaginas anymore. Like, they're not even that appealing to me anymore. Like, I just see, like, debt. Like, I just see a wet debt hole that cranks out, you know, fucking resource hogs like subprime mortgages. That's all I see. Like, people say kids are expensive. You guys, like, let's break it down, okay? I recently read this statistic that said the average kid that you have to raise until 18 years old costs $200,000 till 18. 200 grand over 18 years. That basically comes out to like 11 grand a year. That's $1,000 a month. And you never have just one. You have 2 within 4 years. So that's basically $2 grand a month for 14 to 15 years. Now, if somebody came up to me and I was a loan officer, said they wanted to buy a $400,000 house, making $2,800 a month, which is the average income for an American family, I'd be like, oh, get out of here. You're a fucking idiot. But if they tell me their kid's name is Tyler and they're expecting a second one on the way, I'm supposed to say congratulations? That's fucking stupid. Like, I know it sounds like I'm saying poor people shouldn't have children, but that's exactly what I'm saying, okay? Thank you guys so much. You guys have been an awesome audience.
All right, guys, next up, we've got Scott, followed by Amy, and then Ryan. Give it up for Scott.
Hey, guys. A couple people said they were, like, thrown off by this whole live streaming element. Guys, doesn't bother me, because I've been making my living for a better part of the last 6 months as a cam whore. Private shows are $2.99. Get in there. Anything goes. In between private sessions, I've been headed down to Occupy LA a lot lately. Anybody been going to that? Yeah, I'm trying to get on that touch football team they got going on down there. Guys, it's not easy. You got to put in time. They got a good team this year. They're going far. Reggie's got a serious spiral. Real cannon on that guy's arm. But, you know, they are trying to do something down there. I saw some pretty awesome signs. My favorite ones were Banks be trifling. I also really liked one day soon the poor will have nothing left to eat but the rich. So get on board with that, guys. Get on board with that. I think I should take it a little more seriously, though, because some of my rights have been stripped away lately. Any pot smokers here? Any medical marijuana smokers? Well, the Obama administration is trying to paint us as criminals, guys. That's right. Just a month ago, they took away our right to buy guns and ammunition. And that's fucked up, guys. Because pretty much the only thing I like doing stoned is shooting guns. Nothing better. Just puff, puff, pass me one of my many guns, go out there and paint the fucking town red. What are they going to take away next, guys? My right to compete in triathlons? My right to watch UFC? Fuck, guys. Does anyone know if the Rosie Show is available to stream online? Or am I going to have to go ahead and get cable? Folks, I'm thinking about pitching a show based on my dating life. It's called How I'll Never Meet Your Mother. Stars every woman in the world. A lot of heat on this set tonight. Guys, if you weigh over 200 pounds and think that Skechers shape-ups are a solution to your problem, then you're exactly who I want to talk to about these sweet prepaid legal services I'm offering. Guys, all right, let's just do this one. Folks, I've never been good with women. Thank you. And, well, now I don't have time to do that bit. Let's just put it this way, guys. I'm a terrible person, obviously, terrible comedian as well. Trying to change my image on the at least being a terrible person part. Raising money for charity, starting a home for lightly battered women, and I'm calling it the Tempura House. Thank you guys so much.
All right, next up, guys, we've got Amy, followed by Ryan, and then Jamar. Give it up for Amy.
Thank you guys so much. All this poor talk's depressing. You guys get jobs. Welcome to America. So I was teased growing up my whole life. In grade school, they would call me Amy Cheapo. Amy Cheapo from Home Depot. And I'm sure you guys can relate because you obviously were all teased, right? I can tell. I know the type. But grade school was even harder because my whole first through 6th grade, my grandpa was on trial for war crimes, and I had no idea. And in 4th grade, this cunt, Patty Munoz, came up to me and she's like, Amy, I saw your family on television. Your grandpa killed all the Jews. And I felt so bad for her because growing up, my dad was like, only people of welfare have TVs, And her dad was the manager of the Olive Garden. That's where we went for our brownie meetings. So I felt really bad for her that she was on welfare because I knew it was a bad thing. But, and then I felt bad for her because we went to a Catholic school, where we're taught the Jews killed Jesus. That's why we celebrate Easter. And then it was obvious that she was on scholarship, and didn't pay attention in class. But I was excited, though, because in 6th grade was the first time I saw television, and it was an abortion video. And it was amazing. They showed us on rainy days these abortion videos that were super, super graphic, where they vacuum out the baby and chop it up and just show the footprints to be like, oh, at 3 weeks it has feet prints, la la la. But a lot of girls ran out and cried and stuff, which Patty probably should have been thrown up with them because, when you're that young and have thighs, that's genetics. Right? It's okay. She's a bitch. You guys should Facebook her, Patty Munoz on Facebook. I think this is going live. She, I believe, teaches English at Fountain Valley High School. Poor girl has to have a job. Yeah, but the best part about this whole confirmation process that they showed us the abortion videos was to prepare us for when we're adults in the church and the Holy Ghost comes inside of us. Which is weird because they're saying, okay, have sex, let the guy come inside of you, but don't hold his hands because that's how you're going to get pregnant because that's what they told us. First you're holding hands, then you're holding a baby, So I'm not affectionate, but whatever. I think that's healthy. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave you with this thought. Single people, we have abortions. Married people call them miscarriages. God bless each and every one of you people.
All right, guys, next up we've got Ryan, followed by Jamar, and then Dennis. Give it up for Ryan.
Heat. Hey, everybody. Oh, boy. When I was growing up, when I was a kid, hey, Leah. When I was growing up, I was best friends with this girl down the street named Jenny. And when we were 9 years old, Jenny and I made this pact that said, when we turn 40, if we're both not married yet, let's just man up and kill ourselves. It's a suicide pact. Suicide pact it was. And anyway, I don't mean to brag or anything, but I feel like I might not have to worry about that anymore because Jenny just killed herself this weekend. Just found out. She got fat and then her dog died. A lot of people, everyone thinks Dr. Seuss is this innocent, family-friendly guy. But he's got a lot of subliminal messaging. It's it says some really messed up stuff. If you think about it, if you look at the words, take this for instance. Do you like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam. I am. I do not like them in a house. I do not like Jews. Did you guys notice that? He said he doesn't like green eggs. Whoa, you only like white eggs? Get out of here, you bigot. And then we saw him step on the mat
Then we saw him, the cat in the hat, Death to America. You guys know who lives in America? All the gays. He's a homophobe. Get him out of here. Have you guys... Has anyone ever actually read the entire Bible from beginning to end? It's unreal. Unreal. It's not real. It's not real. It's made up. I'm going to do a... That was a whole joke. I'm going to do a... This is a little character. This is a weatherman who's been struggling with an addiction, and so then you guys can try to guess what the addiction is. That means 1 minute, right? Okay. You guys try to guess what the addiction is. Goes like this. Oh, well, it's going to be a warm weekend, folks. We got highs in the upper 80s on Saturday and Sunday, but then things are things are going to cool down for the Labor Day. Excuse me. Things are going to cool. There's going to be a cold front. There's going to be a cold. Does anybody have any goddamn Necco wafers? Guesses. It's painkillers. Those painkillers that someone had told him were Necco wafers. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jamar.
All right, guys, let's keep it going. Next up, Jamar, followed by Dennis, and then Zainab. Give it up for Jamar.
Who said that? Hey, Zainab. Zainab, you cutie. Cutie, cutie. You're cute. You're cute. You're cute. I'm cute. He's cute. We're all cute in here, man. Man. You know who was ugly? Everybody who played basketball in like the 80s. Like versus the players now, like no homo. But it's like Patrick Ewing was like the ugliest motherfucker on planet Earth. But he was getting pussy. Like he was getting pussy. Versus somebody like and then everybody started getting tattoos and start getting, but like Dikembe Mutombo was ugly as fuck. But you know, it's weird. That's not what I can't talk about. But I was like, I just thought about it. It's like if the lockout is like if basketball never picks up, like everybody is qualified to be a model and shit. But back then, if the lockout happened, everybody is qualified to go back. No, I don't know where that was going. I should write that down. That's kind of funny to me. The homie told me the most racist shit happened to me. That's what he said. It was like the most racist shit ever happened to me. I came home and there was a big ass watermelon on my front lawn. I was like, what the fuck? That's what he said. And then there was this dude, this older guy, he was sitting there and shit, and he was like, really? The most racist shit happened to me, man, back in the 70s. I came home, and there was a big-ass cross burnt on my front lawn. That's what he said. And then I was like, wow. And I was like, do you see like the dichotomy between like what racism was and then what racism is now? Like it's kind of like dying out, you know what I'm saying? Those are my thoughts then. Until I woke up and there was a big ass watermelon burnt on my front lawn. That's kind of corny. I felt the corniness in it. I felt it. Felt that. There goes my light and shit. That's too big of an act out. The difference between me and God. Okay. My aunt got saved and she quit like her wild lifestyle. Like now she's like walking with the Lord. See, that's the difference between me and God. God can do that. Bitch, you can't love me one day, then leave my life. Fuck every man I know. Then when you decide to settle down and you come back to me and expect me to love you again, God will let you into his house, sit your mangled ass cheeks on his furniture, let your dick sucking lips touch his golden forks, and but me, you can go to hell or some shit like that. It was some shit I was trying to write. Something like that. Hey, I got a pullback. Anybody in here got a pullback? It's like an uncircumcised dick. Anybody? Just me. Just me. Got a pullback. Just me. Shit was rough. You guys don't know how it is. Like this morning, like I pulled my shit back and like there were like 2 roaches fucking on the tip. I was like, oh my bad. Give you niggas your privacy and shit. That's the real me. That's the real. I just discovered some shit.
Give it up for discovering some shit, huh? All right. You can also call it a hoodie. A hoodie. All right. Next up, Dennis, followed by Zainab, and then Ari. Give it up for Dennis.
How's everybody doing? Thank you. I'm from South Central Los Angeles. It's weird living in South LA because nobody trusts anybody in Los Angeles. That's why everywhere you go, they have a bulletproof glass window. If you go to the bank, try to cash a check, if you go get something to eat, or even the gas station to get some gas. And the gas station is the worst place too because whatever you give them, they repeat through that big glass speaker. You be in line like, hey, let me get this on number 6. You want 80 cents on number 6? I'm like, damn, you didn't have to let everybody know that. But it's crazy. I don't trust anybody in LA neither. Last time I had sex with this girl, I didn't even use a condom. Now I fucked her behind the bulletproof glass window like, oh yeah, you like that, huh? You like that. I said, do you like that? You gotta be careful who you have sex with now. You do. They just passed, a few years ago, they passed a law in America. If you have a marital sex with a kid, you know, you can be charged with a crime. Child support. I know. I was charged for 18 years, man. I'm gonna start having babies overseas. I'm in court too, like, Your Honor, 18 years? Come on. I didn't murder the pussy. I just hit it a couple of times. It's more like domestic violence. How many years for domestic violence? Oh man, the holiday's coming up, about to go home, visit my mom. It's crazy, I haven't seen my mom since I moved out the house. It was crazy that day. I moved out her house like I quit a job. Came home past my curfew. She's like, Dennis, why are you late? You didn't do any chores. I said, look, I do not have to live by your rules any longer. That was a new joke, I guess. I'm going to have to work on that some more. Let's see what else is going on. I'm on Facebook now. Hit me up on Facebook, Dennis Lavender. What I like about Facebook, you can still judge girls you went to high school with. And it's crazy how the girls change too. You know, the girls that used to be 9s and 10s, they now like 6 and 7s. Then there's girls that used to be 6 and 7s, they're now 9s and 10s. Then there's the girls that was 2s and 3s. They still 2s and 3s, like damn, you still ugly after all these years, huh? All right, everybody, I'm Dennis Lavender.
Next to the stage, we've got Zainab, followed by Ari, and then Leah. Give it up for Zainab.
Hey, everybody. Kids was getting a bad rap today, right? I love kids, though. Like, I don't love them, but I'm like the type of person I appreciate honesty. Like, I can't fuck with you if you're a liar. Like, that's just what it is. So I like having a kid around because they'll always tell you with, like, no discretion. My nephew is 3 years old, and when I cut my hair, I went to visit him, and I'm like, Malachi, you see Auntie got a new haircut? You like it? He was like, no. I was like, but don't I look beautiful? I'm able to wear no hair. He was like, no. Auntie, cut your hair long. Cut your hair long. He was honest with me. I didn't listen to him, but I mean, so then I went to get a second opinion. I went to my 12-year-old brother, and I was like, yo, Jabril, this is dope, right? This is where it's at. He was like, Zainab, you're my sister and I love you, but it's kind of weird. It is. It's kind of weird. There goes the second opinion. I love them. I love my family. My sister was just here visiting me. She recently married a British man, so she lives in London now. So she was here, and she just texted me when she got back this morning, and she texted me like, I'm here. I landed at Heathrow. I'm going through customs, and it made me remember my first time in customs. Anybody been out the country? Yeah, the white guy. I was hoping one of y'all black motherfuckers clapped. My first time out the country, like as an adult, was in 2003. I went to Japan for like 3 weeks, right? And I remember when I went through customs, they, you know, on the customs card, on the card, they ask you to write down your nationality. So, because I'm college educated, I was like African American, got that out the way, right? So I go up to the Japanese guy, and he was like, what's your nationality? That's my Japanese impression, sorry. And I was like African American, and he was like, are you African or are you American? I was like, I mean, I'm African American. And he was like, no, are you from Africa or America? I was like, well, I'm a descendant of like Africans. Right? He was like, are you African or are you American? I was like, okay, what happened was we were slaves, right? We was chilling. And he was like, where were you born? I was like, oh, the United States. He said, you American, you dumb Americans. I was like, they ain't tell me at JFK that I was only an American everywhere else. I'm Zainab, y'all. Thank you.
All right, guys. Next up, Ari, followed by Leah, and then James. Give it up for Ari.
Hey guys, how you guys doing tonight? That's great. Thank you guys for staying. Sweet. All right, let's get into it. Hey guys, what's going on tonight? Sweet. All right, guys, let's get into it. Who's that? That was a nice laugh. All right, so do you guys ever wonder if gay guys, when they make fun of each other, do you wonder if they use straight voice? You know how like when you make fun of your friends, like straight guys are like, they're like, dude, you're so stupid. You're like, my name is Bruce, and you're so dumb, dude. Do you think gay guys, on the flip side, they're like, you're so dumb. You're just like, you're like, my name is Tom, and I like meat and potatoes, right? That's what they sound like, right? All right. It's kind of flippy. All right. This sounds like a joke that I would tell 10 years from now, but Inception, right? That movie, right? Man, it sounds like something a woman would make up. Right? Inception, that movie? Make you think something you didn't think about before? Plant a thought in your brain? Man, women. All right. All right, let's see. Have you guys noticed telemarketers are getting really, really like tricky? Like I keep getting phone calls on my cell phone, which is terrible because I have limited minutes. But then it's always like from different countries. So like I'll get a phone call. It's like, "Hi, is Aristotle there?" And I'm like, "Who's this?" "Oh, it's Chris." I'm like, "Yeah, this is Aristotle." "What's up, Aristotle? Would you like to buy some drugs from U.S. Pharmacy?" I'm like, "Ah, got me again." All right, so that's that one. How many people have been to jail? All right. I was in jail once when I was really young, and my survival tech. Oh, the light's on. How long am I over? A minute. So when I was in jail, my survival tactic was I would use my art. Like I could draw, and so like that's the way I would like survive and not get beat up. And I'd get these requests, like I'd say, like these guys would be like, "Hey, can you draw like a picture of Wolverine with like a lollipop instead of cigar? It says happy birthday, Pedro, for my son." And I was like, "Yeah." I mean, I was 14 too. I was like, "You have a son? That's crazy." All right, last one. My friend recently found out that he got his girlfriend pregnant, and he. Yeah, it's a big change in your life. And he's like, he legitimately wants me to tell him what to do or what to say to her or whatever, and because he thinks that the pull-out method was just, he's so brilliant at it. That's what he feels. He's like, I'm so good at the pull-out method. And I was like, well, if you're so good, then you should look at her vagina and say, touche, vagina. Game over. You win. I tried to trick you for this so many years, but you got me. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for your time.
How you guys doing out there? Still doing all right? We're down to our last few guys, so keep the energy up as we go through our last 6. Next up is Leah, followed by James and Joseph. Give it up for Leah.
How's it going, guys? Really? Really? Not even going to answer me anymore? Really? No, it's fine. So I've had a lot of strange jobs, obviously. So I was a book buyer, and that means that I would go to college campuses, and I would just like cold call in professors' offices and offer them cash for textbooks they weren't using. And when I trained, like it seemed really easy because the guy that trained me was awesome at it. You know, he'd just walk in and be like, I got this cash. Give me some of your, and they'd be like, yeah, you know, and I was like, this is gonna be awesome. But he didn't tell me that it was like illegal in the state that I lived in, and also like really unethical in every other state, you know? So I was like, oh, okay, you know, and people were mean to me about it, understandably. And I did it for like 1 week. I did it for 4 days total, actually. And this is the, like, and also I sucked at it, okay? Because I would do it like I was a drug dealer. Like I would just walk in with a wad of cash and be like, hey, I got this cash here. You got some sweet knowledge for me? You got any of the, I see you got macroeconomics. I can get you $75 and a hand job from a tranny for that. I don't know why that's not measured in actual dollars, but a hand job from a tranny is worth something, you know? So I sucked at it, and on the last day I was there, this is what happened to me. I was in Arkansas, at Beebe, Arkansas, at Arkansas State University, and I went to, were you there? Really? Yeah, I hate it. I hate it, and I'm never going back. And I hate your friend. No, I don't. I'm sorry, Ryan. No. And I went there, and I went into the office, and there was just a student aide sitting there. It was the first office I walked in. It was like 10 in the morning, and I was like, hi, I'm a book buyer. I'm here to buy books. And she was like, okay, well, let me go tell Miss LaWanda. And then she walked off into an office, and I couldn't see her anymore, but I could still hear her. And she was like, hey, LaWanda, there's a book buyer out here. And LaWanda was like, tell her to sit down and call the campus police. And I was like, fuck. And for some reason, I stayed there. Like, I'm 28 years old at the time. I'm just like, fuck. And I just sit down in the chair, and she comes out. I'm not going to have time to tell this. And she comes out, and she leans in, and she's like, LaWanda want me to tell you to sit down. I'm going to go call the campus police on you. I was like, that's not good news, bitch, but okay. So I'm sitting there looking at her name tag like, oh, God, how am I going to get out of this? LaWanda Harvey is coming out here. How am I going to get out of this? How am I going to get out of this? And then LaWanda walks out of the room, and she's white. And the whole time I was like, oh, LaWanda Harvey, she's totally going to be black. And this is my thought. I was like, oh, my God, she's white. I thought she was going to be black. I think that makes me racist. I'm not sure. Wait, I got to deal with that later. I got to deal with the task at hand right now, you know? So I taught, and it was just like, it turned out to be like she just wanted to be on a power trip sort of thing. You know, she was just like one of those office ladies that was like, you know, like, oh, my God, this whole office would go down the toilet if it weren't for me. But really, she's totally replaceable, you know? She's like one of those office ladies that comes in on Monday, and she's like, I was at the Applebee's this weekend. I got the tater skins, and here's 18 pictures of a baby that I'm not even related to. So I got out of it. But I did wake up every day after that and curse her name to the heavens. And I wrote a really mean blog about her, and I put it online. And I know that sounds immature, and I called it, Why Miss LaWanda Harvey Can Lick My Asshole. And I did that because, like, just in the hopes that one day she would Google her own name. And the only thing that would come up would be that blog entry and then, like, the profiles of 12 much, much more successful black women with the same name. Thanks, guys.
Actually, Miss LaWanda Harvey Can Lick My Assholes on my favorites page. All right, next up is James, followed by Joseph, and then Jake. Give it up for James.
How's it going, guys? Before I start jokes, I kind of just want to read you drunk text messages that I sent to myself, if that's cool. Basically, when I get drunk, I either have like the most insightful thoughts that I can ever have, or the dumbest thoughts in quick succession. So, text message number 1. Here we go. Sometimes real life is prettier than anything we can ever dream up. Period. Text message number 2. Damn. What up with that girl with the titties? Period. Joke the first. Here we go. I'm really into psychics, and recently I saw a commercial for a psychic, and it listed all the benefits of hiring one, and the last thing it said was, find out if your boyfriend is cheating on you. And I was like, that's bullshit. And it's not that I'm a skeptic. I just think if a girl catches me cheating on her, it should be because I am dumb or she is smart. If you bring a supernatural third party into the mix, all bets are fucking off. Oh, really? You gonna hire a psychic to catch me? Guess what? I'm gonna hire a magician to hide the evidence. Bye-bye, guilt. Hello, flock of doves. Bookus kadoosh. Carry that guilt away. I'm kind of optimistic as a person, if you don't know me. I try to find the light in even the darkest of situations, and that gets really awkward in itself. Because recently, my friend told me a story about a guy who jumped off a 10-story building to kill himself. And I had to find the light in that. And the story went on. He landed on a 5-story building, and then he lived. But then the story kind of went on, and then he crawled to the edge of that building, and then he kind of just fell to his death. But there's still light in the end of that story. There's still a lesson that you should take from that, and that lesson is don't ever give up. No matter what it is you're doing, even if what you're doing is essentially giving up. Like if life gives you hurdles, you gotta jump over those hurdles. And by hurdles, I mean other buildings on the way to the ground. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, fuck this. All right, there we go. Next up, Joseph, followed by Jake, and then Hassan. Give it up for Joseph.
Hey, neither Jake nor Hassan are here, so fuck them! Fucking douchebags. I'm just gonna stroll in at the very end of the open mic and do my set to no one, because we're all leaving after I'm done. I hope you're watching this outside in the lobby, you fucks! I'm coming for you! All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. I'm Joseph Larkin from Slide, Louisiana. That's right. You know what? That doesn't count against my time, does it? It should count against Hassan's time, of which none of us will watch, to teach you a lesson, Hassan. So anyway, my ex-girlfriend's real coos, and to wit, she puts the so into sociopath. It's a really smart joke, you guys. Real smart. I want to dedicate this next smart joke to Miss Amy Cheapo. She came back to watch me, just like Hassan did, after I yelled at him through the TV. All of cyberspace knows what you did, Hassan. You're going to lose so many followers on Twitter after this. All right, anyway, so this next joke, yeah. There are those who say the Holocaust did not happen. They deny its very existence. But if those people are correct, then what was really going on in those photos I jerked off to last night? Tell me that. Guys, I think pornography is warping me. That's a pretty good segue from what I just said. So I think pornography is warping me. Here's an example of why I think that. When I was a young man, when I wore a younger man's clothes, when I would see like a video of a guy ejaculating on a woman's face, it would horrify me. I would get real squeamish. Now, when I see a video of a man ejaculating on a woman's face, I'm like, only one guy is ejaculating on this woman's face? I can't jerk off to this. It's 10 or nothing. Bukkake for life. So another example of how I think pornography is warping me. Took a lady to the movies a few years ago, one time. Not a hero story, guys. I get laid all the time. But I took this woman to the movies, and I bought her some nachos before the movie started, because I'm chivalrous. And as a joke, I jokingly said, I dare you to jerk me off on those nachos and eat them. Well, the gauntlet was thrown down. Somebody picked it up, guys. Let me paint the picture for you. The lights grow dim. The dick flops out. My date went to work on her job. She gave me a hand job, everybody. And after a few vigorous tugs, I let loose with a tsunami of semen. I slimed her wrist, at which point she picked up a tortilla chip and then scooped it into my ejaculate and then ate it. Well, 80 minutes later, I asked for that little filly's hand in marriage. I found her! True love. All right, thanks, guys. See you in hell. Try to follow that, Hassan.
All right, another image I can add on the things I wish to scrub from my brain. That's awesome. All right, next up we've got Jake, followed by Hassan and Taylor. That's our last three guys, so give it up for them. Jake. Is a Jake here? No Jake is here. Fuck Jake. Let's go with Hassan, and then the last is Taylor.
All right, thank you. Thanks, man. Jesus Christ, man. I felt so guilty. Now I don't. Because I don't at all. You're just like, fuck you, asshole. And I came in, and then I saw people here, and I was like, man, why'd you have to make me feel guilty? Okay, I don't normally dress like this. I was playing basketball, and I was like, gotta come. Gotta put in my time. Gotta put in my work. And then I saw Ari. He sees me, and he's like, are you depressed? And I guess that's what an Indian dude looks like when he's trying to get athletic. I look like a homeless person that's just like been broken up with. And he's just like, are you sad? It's like, all right, Jesus. No, I was actually pretty happy shooting hoops, but I guess. Actually, funny story about pickup. I do play pickup basketball, and I'm actually pretty good. I got picked up last. Like the other day, like I got picked last. And I'm a pretty normal, decent, healthy guy. Like I'm like 6'1", 175. Like I'm like an NBA point guard. I got picked you know how low that puts me on the totem pole of athleticism? It's just like black dudes, Latinos, white guys, girls, paraplegic kid, Indian dude. I'm way the fuck down here. Like the whole point of pickup basketball is to not let the other team score baskets. I just can't let the lesbian chicks score on me. That's my whole goal whenever I play. Like, I can't let Susan B. Anthony get to the cup. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to let her score. I don't care if she throws elbows. I don't give a shit. I have to do this for my people. I have to, you know? What else? My parents want me to quit comedy. And it's funny is like they think that I'm not taking advantage of the American dream. They're like, oh, Hassan, you live in America. You could do so many good things in America. Like you could create Facebook. You could create YouTube. You could create Google. Why the fuck is that your pitch for America? That's such a high bar. Like, really? That's your sell for America? How about this? Mike Tyson has a show where he races pigeons. How about that? That's in America too. Like, that works in America. And he's very rich. You know what I mean? I could fuck like a B-grade R&B star for like 10 minutes and also make a ton of money. Like that could. Why isn't that notion of America sold to me, you know? I don't know. Saw a guy in the elevator the other day. He had a neck tattoo, like written in hieroglyphics on his neck. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? Ancient Egypt. I studied that in the 6th grade. What does that say? And he was just like, pfft. And he just turned his back to me. And for like 7 stories, he just like had his back face towards me, which I thought was like a really dick move, you know? Because it probably means something stupid like hamburger. He just didn't want to admit it. Just like, oh man, I got pepperoni pizza written on my neck. I don't want to talk about it. It's here for the rest of my life. Because I don't think we have like anything meaningful to write on our bodies. Like, we don't live in that age anymore. We have just like stupid shit written on our bodies. Like, if you ever see like an old woman with a walker, she's like, oh, you see this mark on my wrist? This means I survived the Holocaust. You're like, oh, you see this stamp on my wrist? This means I survived Tipsy Tuesdays. What? What you know about that, Grandma? Talking about I had a Holocaust in my stomach last night, G-Ma? What you know about that? Talking about I turned my bathroom into a gas chamber, G-Ma? Pay the fuck attention. I came in for your set. What you know about that, G-Ma? Step your game up, Grandma. I'm sorry for being angry. I just wanted to mimic your energy. But I don't drink. Like, I don't drink. All my friends drink. And they always try to convince me to drink. Ew, to drinking? Not drinking? I've already like singled myself out. You actually fall in the category of like what my friends are like, you know? They always try to convince me to drink when they're drunk, which I think is like the worst time to make your pitch. You're in the worst physical state to make your argument. You know what I mean? Just like, Your Honor, I think Hassan needs to drink because he's being a faggot. Body shot. Like, really? You're going to sell this to me? You have arm hair in your mouth. Like, you're not going to convince me to drink right now. You know what I mean? Like, you're like panting. Like, drunk people are so emphatic and firm in their beliefs. They're panting. They're like, a shoe is missing. They don't have any money. Like, if an alien came to Earth and saw them and a 7-year-old at Chuck E. Cheese, it'd be like, same species. Like, it's the same thing. All my friends get oddly racist when they're drunk. Oddly, just like, oh, dude, you're Indian? Do you know Vikram from Dallas? No, I don't fucking know Vikram from Dallas. The fuck are you talking about? I guess that's the Jaeger talking. Thanks for letting me get all this out. Appreciate it. My name's Hassan. Later, you guys.
Guys, ready for your last comic of the night? Yeah, all right. Here she is. Give it up for Taylor.
So Hassan, like, hey out there, he would have noticed that when to get off stage, had he watched other people? 'Cause there was a light flashing like 5 times. I don't know if anyone else noticed that. And guys, I'm supposed to do a show tonight that's like a blue-collared show. And I'm like, me? Like blue? Like, I'm a virgin. I have been for 3 weeks now. I'm just scared to death to get one of those STDs, you know, that kind that like grows in your belly for 9 months and then follows you around for another 18 years. It's gross. When you're up here talking about something to do with splooging or something, you made me remember my dream I had last night. You know when you like randomly in the middle of the day, you remember like, oh, that dream, because some comic was talking about splooging. Like, so that's what just happened. And in my dream last night, I was like hooking up. I think I was like dating him, like this really creepy guy from like 4th grade. But like, I mean, he's like a grown-up version. Wasn't like a 9-year-old, you know? And then I think in the dream, if I recall correctly, he like camed, how do you say it? Splooged, like on my face, and I got really pissed off in the dream, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I like kind of like shook it off and then like laughed about it. And then went out into the kitchen where his dad was, because apparently this kid lived with his dad still in dreamland. And then I like made a joke about it to his dad. I was like, what? Like, and then I like tried to interpret my dreams. I'm like, well, I guess that probably means like not to be afraid of my in-laws, or I don't know, but that's what happened. But I did just become an aunt, guys. Yay, woo. I expect like applause breaks for shit I don't do, like I don't deserve. Like, yeah, you're an aunt, you didn't do anything. Well, my brother's wife just had a baby, and she was explaining to me like what it's like holding the infant. She's like, yeah, when I'm holding Cameron, like he like attacks me, like reach up and grab my hair and like stick his fingers in my mouth and gouge my eyeballs out. I'm like, whoa, that sounds like my rape fantasy. Like, that's weird. Like, we're talking about my nephew. Like, whoa, should I be wet right now? That's gross. Stop it. Like, I haven't even met the guy. And I'm like, whoa, that's really weird, guys. That's gross. So my black friend, he was telling me that he was talking to this white chick, and he told her that he's like, I think in this economy, all babies should come out white to help like boost our nation's credit rating. And I was like, whoa, you said that to her? Like, that's your attempt of hitting on her? I was like, in this economy, all babies should come out through a vacuum. Like, that's what the problem is. Like, we're just overpopulated. And I don't know, I was sitting in, that's a lie. Okay, well, I drove like in traffic for 3 hours today, and the only thing I could think of was how many other people like should have aborted like 30 years ago, and traffic wouldn't happen. And you guys, I'm not even like pro-choice. I'm just pro-abortion. Like, you guys ever wonder if your own mom ever regrets being so pro-life? No, I mean, mom heard me say that once. And she's like, Taylor, that's ridiculous. I would never, ever have an abortion. She's like, I'm Catholic. I just prayed really hard for a miscarriage. It's like, well, prayers don't work. Thanks.
All right, guys, that's the show tonight. Thank you so much for coming out and getting on the stage. If you want to stick around for any of our shows tonight, since you were on the list, you can get in for free. We're here every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Sign-ups at 5:30. Have a good night, guys. Take care.
Shut the
fun.